Hey guys, we at Eduception are back with our next video. In this video, we are solving the remaining portion of the ICSE 2017 mathematics paper. Hope you like this video. Do hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button and share it with your friends. So let's start. Question number 8a. Calculate the mean of the following distribution using step deviation method. The data has been given and we have to calculate the mean using step deviation method. Let's start. Now I have already made the table over here. You have to make such a table to solve sums of mean using step deviation or shortcut or whatever. So I have written the marks over here. Midterm, that is x, number of students, f, d equals x minus a here is assumed mean, t is the deviation, t equals x minus a by I is the class interval here is 10 minus 0, 10. And this is f into t, frequency into t. So let's solve this. The middle term of 0 to 10 is 5. Number of students 10. D is equal to x minus a. We have to write the middle terms first. 15, 25, 35, 45 and 55. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 middle terms. Now we have to assume a mean. So we assume, preferably assume something in the between, but we have two things in the between. So I'll choose 25. Okay, 25 equals assume mean. Okay, d equals x minus a. X here is 5, a is 25, this is minus 20. T equals x minus a by I is 10, so this will be minus 2. F into t, f is 10 into minus 2, that's minus 20. Now I'll solve all this and then we will continue the video. Okay, so I've solved the table. Now we have to calculate two summations. First sigma f here is equal to 100 and sigma ft here is equal to 63. Okay, so mean for step deviation method is equal to mean x bar equals a assume mean plus sigma of ft divided by sigma of f into I. 35. Okay, a is 25, sigma of ft is 100, sigma of ft is 63, sigma of f is 100 into 10 is the class interval I. We have 25 plus 63 divided by 10 will be equal to 6.3. It is equal to 31.3. So this is your mean. Question number 8b. In the given figure, PQ is a tangent to the circle at A. AB and AD are bisectors of angle CAQ and angle Pacman. If angle BAQ equals 30 degree, prove that number 1, BD is a diameter of the circle and number 2, ABC is an isosceles triangle. Okay, so this is the given diagram and we have already been given that angle BAQ equals 30 degree. Now in the question it is stated that AB and AD are bisectors of angle CAQ and angle PAC. So first of all, AB is the bisector of angle CAQ. So the angle between BAQ will be equal to the angle between CAB. So if this is 30, this will equal 30 degree. And you know from the theorem of lines that a line is 180 degree. So this will equal 180 degree. And it is also been given that AD is the bisector of angle PAC, PAC. So this angle DAP will equal to angle CAP. So if this is 180 degree in a total, this will be 60 degree. This will be 60 degree. Now angle DAB equals 60 plus 30, that is equals 90 degree. This is 90. So you have studied in circles, I guess, that an angle making 90 degree with the point touching the circle is the diameter of the circle. So if this is 90 degree at point A, so DB will definitely be the diameter. So you have to write all that and this is proved. So let's prove the second part. ABC is an isosceles triangle. This is ABC. Now, first of all, in circular theorems, we have read that in a single segment, if two angles are present, the angles will be same. So if this is 30 degree, CAB is 30 degree, angle CDB will also equal 30 degree, first of all. And second, and this is 60 degree, angle DAC is 60 degree, therefore angle DBC will also equal 60 degree. So these are the two angles we get by this theorem. Now we use a third theorem, that when a chord intersects a tangent at a point on the circle, the angles in the alternate segments are equal. Now, so if this is 60 degree, angle PAD is 60 degree, so this will equal to 60 degree. Well, my angle is quite big. So if this is 30, this will be 30 degree. Now if this is 30, this is 90, 30 plus 90 equals 120, this will be 60 degree. Okay, and we know that semicircular angles are 90 degree, so this is a diameter, so this will be equal to 90 degree. Okay, now if this is 60, this is 30, whole of this will be equal to 90, this is 30, this is 120, so this will be equal to 30 degree. Property of triangles. So two angles are equal and one angle is unequal. So this proves that triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle. Question number 8C. Now after two long questions, we have a short question over here. The printage price of an air conditioner is rupees 45,000. The wholesaler allows a discount of 10% to the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper sells the article to the customer at a discount of 5% of the marked price. Sales tax under VAT is charged at the rate of 12% at every stage. Find number 1, VAT paid by the shopkeeper to the government. Number 2, the total amount paid by the customer inclusive of tax. Now, as you all know, VAT is vanished from our country. We have GST. So I guess this question will also vanish from a syllabus. So let's write the details first. Now the printed price is equal to rupees, I'll just write price equals rupees 45,000. Now the first stage, that is wholesaler SALER to retailer or shopkeeper. Okay, the price equals rupees 45,000. Now he gives a discount of 10% to the shopkeeper. Disco equals 10%. Therefore discount equals 10 by 100 into 45,000. That is equal to rupees 4,500. Discounted price equals 45,000 minus 4,500, which is equal to rupees 40,500, I guess. Yes. Now he has to pay a VAT of 12%. VAT rate equals 12%. Therefore VAT is equal to 12 by 100 into 40500, which is equal to rupees, I guess, 4860. Okay, so this is the VAT paid by the retailer to the wholesaler. Now second part is shopkeeper to customer. Now he sells the same thing of rupees 45,000 with a discount of 5%. So price equals rupees 45,000. Disco equals 5%. Therefore discount will equal 5 by 100 into 45,000, which will be equal to 2250. Discounted price equal to 45,000 minus 2250. Sorry, I don't have space over here. Which will be equal to rupees 42,750. Now the VAT is 12%. VAT percent equals 12%. VAT value added tax equals 12 by 100 into 42750. This 5 2s are 5 8 5 5s are 6, which is equal to rupees 5130. So this is the VAT paid by customer to the shopkeeper. Now shopkeeper has to pay some VAT to the government because he has a difference in VAT which he got and in which he paid. So VAT paid by the shopkeeper to government will equal rupees 5130 minus 4860, which is equal to rupees 270. So this is your first answer, the VAT paid by the shopkeeper to the government and the total amount paid by the customer inclusive of tax. So this is the tax. Now we have to, the total price is equal to rupees 42750 plus 5130, which is equal to rupees 47880. This is your second answer. Question number 9a. In the given figure, O is the center of the circle, angle DAE equals 70 degree. Find, giving suitable reasons, the measure of number 1 angle BCD, angle BOD and angle OBD. So I've already made the figure for you. This is the figure. We have been given that angle DAE equals 70 degree. Now first of all, let's find some angles. Now as you know, a line is 180 degree. Therefore this angle will equal 180 minus 70 degree. That's 110 degree. Now you know that opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. So the total of them will be equal to 180 degree. So this will equal 70 degree. And another theorem from circles, that the angle subtended at touching the circle is half the angle subtended touching the center of the circle. So this will be double, that is 70 into 2, that is 140 degree. And I guess we have to find another angle, OBD. Now we can clearly see that OB and OD are the radiuses of this circle. So the angle subtended over here and angle subtended over here will be the same. So in a triangle, the total angle is 180 degree. So 180 degree equals 140 degree plus, let it be x. Therefore 2 into x, 2x. 2x equals 40 degree. X equals 20 degree. So this will equal 20 degree. So our answers are as follows. Number 1, angle BCD, which is this one, equals 70 degree. Cyclic quadrilateral property. Number 2, angle BOD equals 140 degree. The property which states it is twice the angle subtended from here. Number 3, angle OBD, which equals 20 degree, because they both are the radius of the same circle and the angle subtended by both of them will be same. Question number B. A minus 1 3, B 4 2 and C 3 minus 2 are the vertices of a triangle. Now number 1, find the coordinates of the centroid G of the triangle. That's easy. Number 2, find the equation of a line through G and parallel to AC. That is also easy. So let's start. So this is the figure of the triangle and let's start solving centroid G. So finding the coordinates of centroid is quite easy. But what is centroid? Centroid is actually something like a midpoint of the triangle. Now what it equals is G equals x1 plus y1, x1 plus x2 plus x3 onto 3. The first coordinate and the second coordinate is y1 plus y2 plus y3 divided by 3. So x1 is minus 1 plus 4 plus 3 divided by 3, and y1 is 3 plus 2 minus 2 divided by 3. Now this will equal 336, 6 by 3 and 3 by 3. This is equal to 2 and 1. So this is the coordinates of the centroid of the triangle. Now the second question states that find the equation of the line through G and parallel to AC. Now this is G, most probably midpoint, and parallel to AC, this line. okay, line through G and parallel to AC, something like this, okay. So what we will do is, now this can be a little long, so what we will do is we will first find the equation of this line AC. Now slope of AC equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. y2, let's keep it x1 y1 and x2 y2. y2 is minus 2, y1 is 3, x2 is 3 and x1 is minus 1. So this will be that minus 5 divided by 4. This is the slope. And now for parallel, for a line which is parallel, the slope m1 equals m2. So the slope of this line will equal to the slope of this line. So the slope of this line, let it be m, will equal minus 5 by 4. Now we have the slope and we have a point through which the line passes. So the equation, finding the equation is quite easy. The equation will be y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Y minus y1, y1 is 1, m is minus 5 by 4, x and x1 is 2. Y minus 1 into 4 equals minus 5, x minus 2 implies sine 4y minus 4 equals minus 5x plus 10. So 4y plus 5x minus 14 equals 0. This is your second answer. Next question is from trigonometry. Trigonometry in class 10 is very easy and this question is very easy. The question goes sine theta minus 2 sine cube theta onto 2 cos cube theta minus cos theta equals tan theta. We have to prove this. So let's start. So let me first write the question for you. Sine theta minus 2 sine cube theta onto 2 cos cube theta minus cos theta equals tan theta. Okay, so we will solve LHS, left hand side, this one. So let's write the LHS first. Sine theta minus 2 sine cube theta onto 2 cos cube theta minus cos theta. So taking sine theta common from the numerator, it will be 1 minus 2 sine square theta, and cos theta from the denominator, it will be 2 cos square theta minus 1. Now sine square theta equals 1 minus cos square theta. So we will put this over here. 1 minus 2 into 1 minus cos square theta divided by cos theta, and we won't touch anything here, equals sine theta. This will equal to, I guess, the same thing, 2 cos square theta minus 1, yes, divided by cos theta, 2 cos square theta minus 1. Now this will cancel out and this will cancel out, which will equal sine theta onto cos theta, that will equal tan theta, which equals RHS, and it is hence proved. So we move on to the next question. Question number 10A. The sum of the ages of Vivek and his younger brother Amit is 47 years. The product of their ages years is 550. Find their ages. Now this is a question from quadratic equation and I don't think Sridhar Acharya will apply here. We can easily solve this by middle term factor. So let's start. So here is the question for you once again. Not the question, the starting of the solution. So we are letting the age of Vivek equals x, Amit equals y. According to the question, the sum of their ages is 47, therefore x plus y equals 47, and product of their ages is 550, therefore x into y equals 550. Now let y equals 550 by x, not let, this is the thing. So we will put this value over here. So x plus 550 divided by x equals 47. So x square plus 550 equals 47x. X square minus 47x plus 550 equals 0. Now this can be solved by middle term factor. Now if we break this down, we will get around 25 into 22. Okay, so that will add up to 47. Yes, 25 into 22. So write it over here. 550 equals 25 into 22. Now breaking this down, x square minus 25 plus 22x plus 550 equals 0. X square minus 25x minus 22x plus 550 equals 0. X common, x minus 25 minus 22 I guess common. X minus 25 equals 0. So x minus 22, x minus 25 equals 0. Now we have two values of x, 22 and 25. Both of these are the answer, but you can calculate y respectively for both of them. For x equals 22, x plus y equals 47, 22 plus y equals 47, y equals to 25. Now for x equals 25, x plus y equals 47, 25 plus y equals 47, y will be 22. So their ages are 25 and 22. We do not know the specific ages of both of them, but they are 25 and 22. So that is your answer. The next question, the daily wages of 80 workers in a project are given below. This is the table. Use a graph paper to draw an ogive for the above distribution. Scale दिया हुआ है. Use your ogive to estimate this, this and this. Median, lower quartile and number of workers who earn more than 625 daily. ICSE is giving 6 marks for free in this question. You should attempt this question because ogive is quite easy to make. It takes time, but it is easy to make and you can understand it very easily. So let's start. So you have to make a table something like this. Class interval, wages in this case, frequency, that is number of workers, upper boundary and cumulative frequency. This is given, this is given. Now what is upper boundary? This thing is called the upper boundary. So upper boundary over here is 450, here is 500, here is 550, here is 600, here is 650, here is 700, here is 750. The interval of 50 is. Now what is cumulative frequency? Now cumulative frequency means the frequency and the summation of frequencies above that. I mean here we don't have any frequencies above it, so it will be 2. But here we have a frequency above it which is 2. So the cumulative frequency will be the summation of both the frequencies, that is 8. This one, this cumulative frequency, the third one, will be the summation of this and this, which is 20. We will go similarly 38. This will equal to 62. 62 plus 13 equals 75 and 75 plus 5 equals 80. So now we have to plot a graph between cumulative frequency and the upper boundary. Let's the total frequency n equals to 80. This will help us to solve some questions. Now we will say firstly graph all the plots and then we will solve all the 3 remaining questions. So here is the graph. First let's like the scale. The scale is given on the question paper. 2 centimeter equals rupees 50. 2 centimeter equals rupees 50 x axis, and on the y axis 2 centimeter equals 10 workers. So we will take the scale to make this graph. Now you can see this little ECG thingy over here. Now we have to make this because the class interval does not start from 0 in this question. It is starting for 400. So for the ranges that start from 0, we do not have to make this. And for the questions which do not start with 0, we have to make this ECG thingy. Okay, so this is important. Remember this. So let's start plotting some points. 2 centimeter equals rupees 50 on x axis. Okay, 2 centimeter. Now this is 2 centimeter, this thing. So let's make it 450. 2 centimeter 500, 550, 600, 650, 700 and 750. and 10 workers on y-axis. This is the y-axis, 10 workers. So 0 workers, 10 workers, 20 workers, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 and 80. Now we will plot the points. Now we will plot upper boundary against cumulative frequency. This is 450, 450 against 2 here, 500 against 8 over here, 550 against 20, 600 against 38 over here, 650 against 62 somewhere over here, 700 against 75 here, and 750 against 80 over here. Now we have to join this point to make a snake, an S-like character. So make it with free hand. Don't worry if it gets a bit, not in shape, but that's fine. You have to make an S like a snake. So let's start. Just remember that you have to touch all the points. Your answers won't be correct. Okay, so this is your ogive, an S-like structure. So this is it. Now we have to solve some questions. The median, number one, the median wage of the workers. Now for median with n equals 80, median equals n by 2 is equal to 80 by 2 equals 40. Now we have to plot the cumulative frequency of 40 against the class interval, and we will get the answer. So let's first find the points, then we will plot it all together. Lower quartile Q3 equals n by 4 is equal to 80 by 4 equals 20. We have to plot 20. And number 3 is the number of workers who earn more than 625 rupees daily. Now we have to do that with this one, the graph. So let's start. Let's get to the graph. Now 40. This is 40. This here is the point. I'm not using a scale. Try to make a straight line. So this will be equal to the median. So this will be something 650. This will be 605. So write it over here. Median equals 605. Okay, we will write that another place, so don't worry. The lower quartile is, we have to plot lower quartile for 20. 20 is over here, so 20 is already plotted with 550. So lower quartile Q3 equals 550. Now the third question is the number of workers who earn more than rupees 625 daily. Now this is your class interval, the wages, and 625 is somewhere over here, the middle thing. So we'll go over here. Now let's take this one. Do use a scale for this question. I'm not using a scale. And this is what, 49 I guess. So 49. Okay, write it here, 49. Now total number of workers are 80. And the number of workers who earn more than 625 daily will be 80 minus 49, that is 31. So you can write the answers on the graph, but I don't suggest that. You should write your answers sideways where you have done the table. So let's write the answer nicely. Number 1, median is equal to 605. Number 2, lower quartile equals 550. Number 3, number of workers, write that, and that is equal to 80 minus 49 equals 31. So this is your answer, and this whole thing fetches you 6 marks. It's long, but it's easy. Question number 11, the final question of this question paper. Question number A, a question from heights and distances. So do this chapter very nicely because this will continue till JEE mains if you choose science as your subject in class 11 12. So it goes, the angle of depression of two ships A and B as observed from the top of a lighthouse 60-meter high are 60° and 45° respectively. If the two ships are on the opposite sides of the lighthouse, find the distance between the two ships and give your answer correct to the nearest whole number. So easy sum, let's start. So let's make the diagram first. Now a lighthouse 60-meter high in the middle. This is a line, not a lighthouse. This is the sea. And now I guess there is a man over here who is observing two ships. One over here and one over here. So we have the pyramid of Giza over here. Sorry, the diagram of our question. Let this be ship A and this be ship B. Now we have been given the angle of depressions. So angle of depressions has to be made making a parallel line from the surface and getting an angle over here. So with A we have 60° and with B we have 45 degrees. Okay, and this is 60-meter high. So now these two are parallel lines. So this angle will equal this angle 60°, and this angle will equal this angle 45°. Now we have A and B. Let's name it M and N. Okay. Now solving for firstly ship number B. Okay. Tan, okay, in triangle M N B, tan theta equals perpendicular by base. Now you have to remember the phrase, some people have curly brown hair tightly pulled back. So tightly pulled back, tan theta equals perpendicular by base. So in triangle M and B, this is theta, tan 45°, opposite of theta is perpendicular, 60 divided by the base, NB. Tan 45° is 1, everybody knows that, I guess. So NB is equal to 60 meter. The first thing. Now for ship number A, in triangle M and A, tan theta we have the same thing, perpendicular by base, tan 60°, opposite of theta is perpendicular, 60 where base, AN, tan 60° is √3, learn that, 60 by AN, therefore AN equals 60 by √3. Now rationalize it, friends. 60 into √3 by √3 into √3, you will get AN equals 60 into 1.732 divided by 2 square roots equal the number 320, which equals 34.64 something. Okay, and we have to find the total length or distance between the two ships. Total distance AB equals NB plus AN, which is equal to 60 plus 34.64 meter, which is equal to 94.64 meter, and to the nearest whole number it equals 95 meter. This is your answer. Okay, the next question, number B. This is a question from similarity, I guess. Yes, similarity. It goes, PQR is a triangle, S is a point on the side QR of triangle PQR such that angle PSR equals angle QPR. Given QP equals 8 cm, PR equals 6 cm, and SR equals 3 cm. This is the given figure. Now we have to prove angle PQR is congruent to angle SPR. Number 2, find the length of QR and PS, and number 3, the ratio of area of angle PQR to the area of angle triangle SPR. So let's start. So let's make the triangles. So this is the first triangle, triangle PQR, and second triangle will be R, S and P, triangle PSR or SPR, anything. So in the question it is already given that angle PSR, this thing PSR equals angle QPR, this thing. So basically in this both triangles an angle is equal, and another thing, this is 6 centimeter and SR equals 3 centimeter. Now there is a ratio of 1:2. Now here we have to prove congruency. So we have two evidences and this proves the congruency of triangle PQR and triangle SPR. Okay, easy thing. Second one, we have to find the lengths of QR and PS. QR and PS. Now we have already been given the lengths of PQ 8 centimeter and PR, that is what, 6 centimeter. The ratio between the two triangles is 1:2. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 6, this will be 8, this will be 16, and if this is 6, this will be 12. So QR equals 12 centimeter and PS equals 16 centimeter. That is your second answer. The third answer is area of, the ratio of area of triangle PQR divided by area of triangle SPNR. Now in similarity angle, any subsequent sides square will give you the ratio of the areas. So let's take this one PQR, this one, 6 square divided by 3 square equals 36 by 9 equals 4 by 1. It will be 4 by 1. Now you can calculate this using this also and this also. So let's do that. 8 square 64 and 16 square 256. So when you calculate that, you will get 4:1. Similarly 12 square equals 144 and 6 square equals 36. Solving that, you will get also 4:1. So here we come to an end of this question. The final question of this question paper, question number 11C. Mr. Richard has a recurring deposit account in a bank for 3 years at 7.5% per annum, simple interest. If he gets rupees 8325 as interest at the time of maturity, find number 1 the monthly deposit and number 2 the maturity value. Easy question from recurring deposit account. So let's start. So let's write the details first. The interest I equals to rupees 8325. N is 3 into 12 months equal to 36 months. I'm writing only M. We have rate of interest equals 7.5%, and this is the details that we have been given. Now there is a formula, a simple formula of interest. I equals P, that is monthly installment, into N minus 1, N plus 1 sorry, divided by 2 into R by 100 into 1 by 12, so which is equal to time. So interest is 8325. You have to calculate the monthly deposit P. N is 36, 36 plus 1 37, divided by 2 into R is 7.5, divided by 100 into 1 by 12. P therefore equals 8325 into 2 into 100 into 12 divided by 36 to 37 into 7.5. Now this will equal rupees 2000. So rupees 2000 is your monthly deposit. This is your first answer. Now maturity value. What is maturity value? Maturity value equals this monthly deposit P into number of months N plus interest I, which is equal to 2000 into 36 plus rupees 832 and 5. 36 into 2 equals 72. 72,000 plus 8325 is equal to rupees 80,325. This is your second answer. And here we come to an end to this mathematics paper. We will be uploading new videos very soon, so stay tuned.